This is the Gallerist, art by Ian O'Toole, game and design by Vital Lacerda. It's a beautiful game. Literally looking wise. I think Vital did a number of the art actually presented there, as well as there's a large number of other artists who have contributed. It's some really interesting stuff.
And just so people know, we've got a couple of views we're playing with right now. We've got a close-up view, so when Maddie has something for you to read, or a card, or a token, or an icon, or something, he can put it right there, and everyone should be able to see it.
I'll pack it.
Really well. Right now, is that your first player?
It's going to be the first player marker, yeah.
Okay.
It does come with one. Paul was kind enough to make me this, so we're going to
Fantastic. And then we are playing around with this, so when people are taking their turns, I'm going to try to play around and just give you a different angle for you to watch what they're doing and be able to watch people's boards a little bit more closely, just so you have a little bit more intimate view. And I'm not great at that yet. That's why she's up there where it's right here.
Floating
for
in
now.
Ambient space.
Yeah. So we'll just try to make it as easy for people to follow along as we can.
Yeah.
So without me interrupting Maddie anymore,
No, you're
floor's
good.
yours.
I just want to have some fun.
Yeah.
Play games. Please ask questions when you need to. All right. So this is the Gallerist. We have our own personal boards that do correspond to a specific gallery, which is the dark line, the lobby, which is the dotted line, and there's a plaza here in the center as well. We're going to interact with all those. We do want to buy art. We do want to sell art. We want to promote those artists, and we want to gain some reputation and fame, as well as we're going to compete in an auction at the end of the game as well for another piece of art.
Okay.
The player with the most money at the end of the game is going to be the victor. There aren't a set number of rounds, but since there is a start player, there is going to be a last person to take the turn, and it will always be the opposite, or I guess the right-hand person of the start player. I'll describe endgame in just a little bit more in detail later when it pertains. But we've got tickets that correspond to specific meeples. We have VIPs in pink. We have collectors in white, and we have influencers in brown. I think that's correct. It is influencer?
I think that's right, yeah.
And we have, do we have player aids that will tell
These are
us
player
all
aids.
that?
Yeah, these
Okay.
are absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best player aids I've ever seen in a game, especially for one that's fairly complex. It lays out very detailed your entire turns. I might advise to not look at that too much right now. I don't want you to get too ahead of ourselves, but it is very clear when we're going on our turns. We'll be utilizing those to just go step by step, and then it'll become second nature to us pretty quickly. That being said, there are essentially on our turn three actions that two actions that we're taking, and then one potential. So three total actions. There is a location action, which is designated by these white circles. We have a kicked out action that's going to be represented by the black circles, and then on our turns we also have something called an executive action, which will take either before or after your location action. I'd like to describe the location actions first if we can, and we'll start with this is the artist colony. So on my turn, my movement is to place my pawn into a location on the white section. If I have left another location and I have an available assistant, I may place one there for reasons I'll discuss in just a moment. Okay? I have to have an available assistant to place there from where I'm moving from. I then take the location action. This one allows us to actually discover the artists, and when you discover an artist, I'm going to represent one here because I don't want to flip those over. You flip that over, and then their fame gets denoted, and that's also the starting price for the cost of art. You will then, I guess it doesn't matter right now, you can also purchase art from discovered artists. Okay? We also have the sales office, which is where we'll gain contracts to be able to sell the art we have already purchased, which is the other thing we can do, which is sell. We have the media center down here, which allows us to promote the artists, increasing their fame, which also increase the price and cost of their art. And then we also have the ability to hire new assistants. That's how we get those, okay?
So we can't move our pawn to take the action for the new location unless we have an assistant, so a worker that can refill the spot that we've moved from?
No, you can't.
I lied about all of that.
You can't place a person if you don't have one, but
Right,
placing it is an option.
Okay.
So I've moved to here. I have one available. I can do this.
So we can't move our pawn unless we have a worker to place in the previous spot?
No, the moving of the pawn has nothing to do with placing a worker.
Oh, okay.
It's just when I move the pawn, I'm allowed to place an assistant if I have one available.
Okay, I understand.
Which the advantage of that is for the kick-out action,
Which is the kick-out
which we'll
action.
talk about in a second.
Gotcha.
Let's get more detailed about the actual location actions as we're discussing this. So when we discover an artist, that's handshake, and we've already said that we flip one of these over. We start the fame. And then what this allows us to do for this particular artist relates to their signature. I have now commissioned them to work or to create a piece of art for me that I have not purchased. Okay, this goes in my personal board. This bottom section here, handshake, that's commission. Okay, the commission will always relate to a price that I'm buying for a piece of art, regardless of how high this gets. Because I have a commission for this artist, when I'm purchasing art, is the other thing I can do. I'm allowed to purchase it for that price. Discovering the artist, we flip it over, start the fame, and then I take one of their signature tokens. It's basically for discovering an artist, okay? Now when I come to purchase the art as a separate action for this location, and I want to buy this art here, we look at the cost, which is where this fame token has gotten to. And if it is 12 and I don't have a commissioned art, I would pay 12 for that piece of art. If I have commission, the cost of that art, even though his fame is at 12, is 8. Okay? So a commission allows me to buy for a cheaper cost than their fame, but only because I have commissioned them, because I discovered them. Okay? We will only discover 7 artists in this game because one is already flipped over. And then everything else is purchasing the art. Okay?
So we only get a chance to commission them when we discover them?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Discover and commission are essentially the same thing.
Okay.
Part of the same action.
Oh, gotcha.
The purchasing of their art is the separate action for this location.
Okay.
And we pay the cost. We do have one-to-one money for that particular art piece, either 8 because I have the commission or 12. And we then go through this lovely little list here. We would send the visitors that are on the actual piece of art to the plaza. Okay, they're now more economy for us. We increase the fame of that artist when we buy something because, you know, lo and behold, it's out in the media, it's out in the world now. And that fame increase is always a star number plus a number of white meeples or collectors in your own gallery.
See it just so people have it.
I do this.
Yep.
Okay.
You want to just kind of, yeah.
Sure, we'll walk through it again. Go ahead. You got better fingers than I do. So the star always means fame, and that fame increases the value of the marker on the artist that you're purchasing the art from. And it's always the star value plus how many collectors are in your gallery. So Bob, if he purchased this particular piece of art, the star is 0, but he has 1 collector. So for the fame for that artist, if we moved it over, we'll just move over 1 tick. Okay, if it had, you know, obviously more. And then you would gain 1 ticket. Congratulations. And then now you place this into your personal gallery, of which you have 4 spaces for. One of those is not accessible unless there is a celebrity artist that you have a piece of art for. I'll get to celebrity status in just a moment. Yes, that's correct. Okay?
Yep.
We fill in art that we purchased from left to right. And if we sell art, it is removed from left to right as well, and everything fills in. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions about purchasing or discovering an artist? When the new art is revealed, more meeples come on based on the amount of tickets that are presented on the piece of art. So this is a way to get more people here because these guys are going to end up in our galleries and plazas.
So for my brain to be
Yep.
able to understand it,
Yep.
are these actions that we're taking?
Yes.
How many actions do we get on our turn?
You get one action.
So we get one action. One of those actions is to.
I would go to the artist colony.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm either discovering an artist because there are artists to discover that
You're
are
taking
available.
one of those actions that are represented by those icons, one
Correct.
of those two icons, by moving your pawn to that place.
That's correct.
And one is to discover, which is the handshake.
Yep.
And to the right, it is
Purchase.
purchase some art.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, and then that is all, if for your reference here, personally. The artist gallery
Fantastic.
is right there.
Yep.
And as we actually go through these actions in the game, we'll just walk through those because it is, again, so handy that it's just lovely. But
Perfect.
we'll move on to the next location, which is, I like the sales office up here.
So we have two actions you can take on this.
Correct.
That there we go.
Yeah.
We have two actions, so boom and boom.
One of those is to gain a contract. The contract cards are presented here. Those are technically face up, and they're called unfulfilled in this state.
Ah,
Okay. So I would be able to select from one of those four. If I didn't like any of those, I have the option to fill in four more. One time, I have that option.
and I assume you clear before
You do not clear.
Interesting. You just put it right
You
on
just
top.
put right on top. That's correct.
That's why it was an assumption. Not a presumption. Thank you.
Yeah. You still have an option if you don't want to take any cards. You don't have to, but it says it is generally unadvisable to do so, literally in the rule book. So
It's unadvisable to do.
to not take a card once you've. Take the action, take a card, right? Just take one.
I see. There's no
Yeah.
reason not
What-
to.
Yeah.
Where do these cards go when you
They
take
go
them?
in your personal space.
They go right
Yep.
here.
So that same iconography, that paper folding right there, that's exactly where they go.
And then can you only have this many?
You may only have 3 at a time.
And what happens if you get that fourth one?
You cannot.
So once it's filled, it's filled.
There are ways to remove them, and I'll discuss that in just
Okay,
a minute.
all right.
Yes, but you can only have 3
At a time.
unfulfilled contracts at a time.
Okay.
Okay, and you're only gaining 1 at a time. When I do, for the first time that I'm covering up one of these 3 spaces, I get a ticket. Okay, I'll discuss what tickets do in just a moment, but know that they are part of the currency. I get either a brown ticket, a pink ticket, or any of my choice ticket. I do not have to place them from left to right.
Are there only two?
Sorry?
Are there only two kinds of tickets?
There's a white as well.
There's a white. Is
Yeah, it
this,
corresponds
is this the
to each
only
of the
way to
meeple
get a
colors.
white?
No,
Okay.
it's not the only way. But you notice that because of that, it is more difficult to potentially get them. There are the collectors are more rare to be out anyways.
Okay. Gotcha. Following.
Okay.
Too bad there's not a Neapolitan ticket.
Man,
Just
that
doesn't
is the
that's
theme,
ex-
isn't
that's
it?
an expansion.
very
This
Neapolitan.
makes me want some gelato as we're like
It's
cruising
the
around.
2030 expansion.
Maybe, yeah. All right, so when I take the ticket, I'm just going to use this one as an example. It just, let's say I put it here. Again, I do not have to fill from left to right. I can put it in any one I want to because let's say I just want a pink ticket. I would get the pink ticket. That goes into my handy dandy little area there. Okay,
Fantastic.
that's contract. This
And
does fill in. 'Cause
Are
this is
these? Can you
empty.
only have 3 of those as well, or can you
Um,
stack them?
You may stack them.
Okay.
You are not limited to an amount of tickets.
Thank you.
Yep. They just designated a spot for each of them for you. The other thing I can do at this location, because contract is just taking the contract and then popping it there. I'll get to how we remove them in just another minute. I'm not ready to do that yet.
Sure.
We want to next sell our art, okay?
And that is this one right
Yes. I have to have a contract with that's not even the right thing, with a corresponding, sorry, I'm taking this one. I'm going to
you're
use
good.
my board here for a second, Jerry.
here? I can't go to your board, but we can certainly go to that
I'll go
one.
up there.
Yeah. So that might be too big. Let me see if I can pull back a little bit. Shoot. Give me 1 second. See if I can't pull back.
Sorry?
You only need a small area, but you don't need the whole board. He doesn't need to pull back.
Yeah, just here on, basically.
So yeah,
I'm just
pull
trying to
pull
relate.
it your way, Paul. That's a little too much. About 3 inches back towards us, towards me. Yeah, put the meeples right along the edge. Yeah, right there, perfect. Now you're good.
Thanks, Paul. All right, so to sell a piece of art, I have to have a corresponding contract that matches it. Okay? If I don't, I cannot sell art. Either way. If I have the
Okay.
contract for a piece of art I don't have, I can't sell anything. If I have a piece of art for a contract I don't have, I can't sell it. Okay? It's unfortunate, but it happens. We then we get the cost of the art based on where the artist's
ones that are. So one of them's back up. Seat 4 is back up.
Nice.
Just waiting on seat 2, which is me, but I don't really care as much about that because that is not where our microphones are. So seat 3 and seat 4. Okay, so we should have mics back.
Check, check.
Andrea hopefully will let me know in a second. But I think, yeah, go ahead and give me a, yeah. say
Check,
something.
check.
Yep, do you guys want to say
Check
this?
1, 2, check.
Oh, yeah. So our mics are back. Everybody's back up but me. I'm good with that. Do not care.
But you're the prettiest.
I know.
Yeah,
You're-
and
you're
we
the
should be
face
good.
of
So,
GGG.
yeah.
You're-
I'm the
you're
something of it.
You're the GGG CEO, man. We got
Yeah.
GGG CEO.
All right,
Just rolls off the tongue.
Sorry about that, folks. We should be back now. Hopefully, someone unfortunately unplugged the internet on us.
How are
so,
the ads? Did you appreciate those?
I will make sure that never happens again.
How are the ads?
How are the ads? We got to make money.
Figure
from that,
something out. So yes, and we are in an art, literally in an art studio.
Yeah.
So teaching the Gallerist, and there isn't a place for a power outage on this, but that's basically what happens. So we're gonna pick back up. We're gonna pick up right where hopefully we left off. Sorry about that. Gave everyone time to use the
Losing
restroom.
power at the art gallery is like flipping the table, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let me get everybody's heads back up here.
We're talking heads.
Did not believe you said we were playing the same.
Burning down the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the table, and everything's back up. Just
Cool beans?
Yeah, you're all set.
All right. So we were at the sales office, which is located at this location
Yes.
here. I think we've gone over
This one, right?
the contracts.
The one on
Yeah,
the right?
We're doing the sell.
Yep.
Right. So I have to, in relation, have a contract that matches a piece of art I have. That allows me to sell this piece of art, and that selling price is the value of how famous an artist is based on the star system of that artist, because it relates to this track here.
Yep.
Yep. And there are 4 types of art, correct? There's photography.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're right.
Photography, sculpture,
Oh.
Painting,
like paintings,
Little
I think,
painting,
and
yeah.
then abstract.
abstract.
And do
yeah.
those have tags?
Yeah, they're symbolized here.
That's a good point.
That's what the
Mhm.
symbols are right here.
And so the
you got
contracts match those too. Yeah.
abstract, and then paintings, and then sculpture, and then photography.
Perfect.
just
That's excellent.
From a thematic perspective, might help when you're looking at those.
Cool.
That's a good call out too. Okay. Now, when I sell that piece of art, I gain the money for it. Yay! Money wins the game. The art comes out of my gallery. It's gone. And then this contract that I used, it would get flipped over. I also, whenever I sell, have to return a meeple from my gallery, right,
Mm-hmm.
to the plaza. So, if I sell this piece of art, I have a brown or an influencer in my gallery. When I flip over this contract, the type of meeple that I return directs which way this card is oriented.
So the different color meeples mean something different.
They do, yeah. They either reference being able to increase fame, influence, or money, or just gaining money, or just gaining influence.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because I have a brown, and because this brown goes back to my plaza, I must orient this contract card, this fulfilled contract card, with the brown meeple facing upwards.
Gotcha.
And this is part of an executive action which we have not covered yet, but allows us to do a bonus thing which our assistants can do. If it had been pink, like it is for your gallery, you would flip it to the top. So the pink would be on top. If you have a white, either one you want to. If you don't have one at all, which is possible, also your choice of which way it gets flipped up. Okay? I am allowed to take a new contract and place it on top of here. I cannot take an unfulfilled contract and place it on an unfulfilled contract. But I can take a contract and place it on top of and replace the filled one. Okay, so if
You
I've
could
got
put an
my 3 here.
unfulfilled on a fulfilled one.
Correct.
Okay.
So in that case, if I took a new contract and placed it here, I would remove this card. It would go to a discard pile over there. I would put the new contract here. I do not get the ticket bonus again. I only get that one time. Okay?
I think so.
Quick question. When you have the unfulfilled contract, you do have the ability to place an assistant in that spot.
You can, as part of an executive action, yes.
Executive, she'll get to
Yep,
that.
yep.
Okay.
Next.
Next,
What influences which way we would want the card to be flipped?
the type of
So the type of
visitor.
people determines it, but if we have a choice, what would make
Oh,
the choice?
Sure. So I guess as part of your bonus action, what you can do with one of these two things, anytime you see these particular icons and you activate it with your assistant, you take an amount of influence as you have per the meeples that are in
Okay.
your gallery.
Okay.
So if my pink is up, and let's say that Jerry had used this particular bonus token, he would gain 2 influence for every pink or every VIP, and or 1 VIP or 1 influence per collector in his gallery.
Okay.
If he took the action with this present configuration, he would gain 2 influence, which is just to move him up on this track twice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
The alternate is money. So I would gain. This is for brown and white. So if I have it for specifically Paul, he would gain 2 money. You, Bob, would gain either 1 money or 1 influence, depending on, I guess, which way you have this oriented, right? But it would always be associated to that particular
Perfect. Thank you.
icon. Yeah. Cool. I'd like to go into that in, a little bit further down the line as well for the executive actions. This can go back here for now. I'm going to come over to the media center next. This is where we can promote artists, which is another way in which they increase fame. What was the first way they increase fame?
By selling their art.
By purchasing their art,
purchasing
yes, by purchasing their art. And then this one is based specifically on the current fame of that artist, the current promotion level of that artist. Using these two as an example, I can only go up in increments of 1. So if I come here to promote an artist, I can promote him to level 2, or I can promote him to level 4. Those are my only 2 options at this point, okay? When I do that, I either pay 2 influence or 4 influence, depending on which guy I'm doing it to.
Right.
Okay? This token would cover that. We increase their fame, 1 plus however many collectors are in your gallery, and then you also gain the bonus that is under or right above the this promotion level. So if you took this one, you would gain gain influence action. This one is 2 tickets of any not like kind. Anytime you take 2 tickets, you can never take 2 of the same ticket. That's just a blanket rule. Anytime you see this icon here, it means take a meeple or a visitor from the plaza and put him in directly into your gallery. It's also located here. It's also here, and these are bonus tiles that you gain when you discover that particular artist. One-time use. The other thing you can do at the media center is to, this is how you get assistants. It takes money. Their money is located on the side of their actual persons. The first one you buy is, or I guess hire, is 1 coin. The second one you would hire would be a 2nd coin, but you also get a brown token or a brown ticket for hiring that second artist, so on and so forth. You can hire as many as you have space and availability to do so for money. So if I have 1 artist here or 1 assistant here, and I take this promotion or this hire assistant action, I can hire up to 3 of them, although I don't have to.
And there's things that will actually have your assistants be permanently placed onto the board, is that correct?
There are, yes, at the next location we're
I'm
going
saying
to, the international
you got 8
market.
here, and you got 4 spots here, and you already got 2. So
Yep.
I'm assuming there had to be a way to get
Yep.
your people out there that they'll stay out there.
They're going over to the international market to build renown for our gallery. And we can head there now because there isn't much else to explain for promotion. I think that's pretty much
There you go. Nice.
simple. That's a simple action. This
Just
one,
for you.
yeah, thanks. Keep it right. I had a brown guy there for the record. These were all placed randomly from the bag. This is the international market. These two actions are represented by these three columns, but there's two areas to each set of columns. The first area here is the reputation track. There are restrictions for going to each particular track. I must have in my plaza either an investor, a collector, or a VIP influencer. Is that right?
The plazas are these.
Yes, that's the dotted lines. Yep. So presently, because no one has anybody in their plaza, no one can go to these locations. Okay, that is a restriction.
Lobby?
Lobby,
This is the plaza, right?
plaza, lobby,
This is the
gallerist.
lobby.
Yes,
Lobby.
I'm gonna do that multiple
This
times.
is the lobby.
This is our assistant office.
That's your assistant
Yeah.
office. This is the
Plaza.
plaza.
Yep.
This is
And
This is your gallery.
These are
Gallery is the hard
galleries.
line.
And this
Lobby.
is the lobby.
and
Plaza's
these are our
the line.
And we all have our own gallery and lobby.
Correct. Yours
Okay.
happens to be over here.
And the plaza is
It's a neutral
is
area.
everybody's. Okay.
Neutral area.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So given that I have met the requirement for this particular, going into this column, I also have to meet a requirement here, either by owning a piece of art or having sold one. I happen to have sold a piece of a painting, so I'm allowed to come here because I have an influencer in my plaza. If I do, I have to take one of my available assistants, I place them there. I do happen to get 3 influence by going into this particular column, but I'm taking this reputation tile, which is always endgame scoring. All the blue and gray ones are endgame scoring, and I'm going to place it onto this area of my personal board. When I do that, I then take that bonus. Okay?
Okay.
Those bonuses are either gaining influence, gaining money, increasing fame. That increasing fame is for any artist. It does not have to be one that you have or available, but it has to be one that's been discovered. I can take a meeple into my gallery, 2 tokens of my choice, or a free assistant.
2 tickets.
Yep, 2 tickets of
Okay.
my choice, or a free assistant. Okay, and because I've taken a reputation tile, I now, from my plaza, my lava, my lobby.
Lava?
I mean,
Mr.
it's
Lava
the
Lava.
in-between. It's the lava.
Mm.
The lava.
But from my lobby, a visitor has to go back to the plaza. Okay? So I used him, and then I lost him.
It's the way it goes sometimes.
It is the way it goes sometimes, okay?
Right.
So this particular action, reputation, specifically is for this top 4 rows of these 3 columns. Right? You have your restrictions, brown and pink, and then this one is white and either a brown and pink. You gain the influence listed above the track. You gain this particular token, and it goes into our reputation, our area over here. You have a maximum of 6 of them. If you gain a 7th, you just goes to the box, okay? We're going to be getting one of those, and it's going to go here at the beginning of the game. It's kind of the pre-start, but and then we'll discuss what they
Is that
specifically
max
do.
written anywhere?
It's just how many spaces you have available for it.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
understand. Okay.
Yep. And then this is also going to be part of endgame scoring based on how many, little area control here, how many of my assistants I have in these areas, okay? Discuss that in a second, but the second area we can go to is the silent auction or the international auction. Same restriction, I have to have a specific person in my lobby, and then I have to pay the money associated to each row, okay? So this area does not require me to have a specific piece of art, but it does require me to have value of money, monetary value. And then you just gain the benefit for placing one of your assistants there. Okay, so I've paid my 3 money. I had my guy. Boop. I gain a free assistant.
Is there any difference between this and this mechanically? So let's lay our guys down just so people can see them.
Sure, that makes
As
sense.
we play.
That's it. Any questions about these, or these? Any questions about these? or these. No questions about contracts or selling.
Good for now.
I did mention briefly in not doing the teach of the sale of the what is this one called?
Commission?
Discovering, yeah, commissioning. That when you discover one, you do get this. The white tokens are always one-time uses, and they're immediate.
Okay, so white is one time,
Yep.
instant.
And then these are endgame scoring. Endgame scoring
Is
will...
that oh, so is red always in game?
No, red
these
is
scoring?
just influence. It's this track
Ah,
here.
okay, gotcha.
Okay. Yep. Influence is so this is an economy. Here,
Okay.
Okay. And what it allows you to do is actually money as well as fame to increase things. Okay. Those are the location actions. Let's do the executive action. The executive action happens either before your turn or after your turn, not during. And it allows you to, these visitors that we've been talking about, going from plaza to lobby to gallery, are associated to the tickets. I have to have a ticket to move a visitor. I have a pink ticket. I can move one space, likely towards my own, sometimes away from someone else's. Okay? I can take from someone else's lobby. I cannot take from someone's gallery.
I think that's the only kind of take that
It
kind
is.
of mechanic in this game that I've seen.
But it comes at a cost.
Yeah, it really does.
Because 2 spaces to get here, or 2 tickets versus 3 tickets, you don't always have 3 tickets, and specifically not of the same color. It's
Yeah.
all economy, right?
And you,
So,
and you cannot take a visitor out of somebody's gallery.
Correct,
You can only
yep.
take them out of their
We want
lobby.
to put that back. So
that's actually going to come over here. I was using that as,
Oh,
as
gotcha.
a different example, but yes, that's fine.
Yeah, so once they're in here, they're safe, at least from being taken by other
Correct.
people.
when they get to your
The only way
gallery,
they
they're
would come out of
safe.
here is if we sell art.
Is this? I assume that's what the dotted line
Yeah.
is indicative of, as opposed to the
think so.
solid border.
Yeah.
Border. Just as a reminder, probably.
Yeah, there are holes in this armor. We are limited in our gallery to a certain number of collectors. That does not equate to influencers and VIPs. Investors, I'm gonna get that in a second. It is 1 collector plus how many pieces of art I've sold.
Ah,
Okay.
and that is right on the
Yep.
board to remind us.
Yeah, a lot of the iconography is very handy in that respect.
Fantastic.
Mr. O'Toole did a good job with that.
He is gifted that way.
He is gifted that way. Okay. So presently, Bob, you're at your max for collectors, but that's not necessarily a bad thing to do.
Does-
There's only one other collector out
Does he
here.
do the graphics as well as the art?
Ian?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'll look it up.
I don't
I
know.
don't- it's-
I don't know
it'll
if
be down
it,
here, I
I don't
think.
even know if people if that's ever mentioned. I know we a lot of times we'll mention designers, obviously, and now we mention artists. Sometimes even right on the front of the box, but you don't see a lot like what developers get mentioned.
Yeah.
You don't see
Ian
like
did-
graphics design.
Yeah, Ian did the graphic design and the illustrations.
That's fantastic.
Interesting.
That's
I didn't
fantastic.
realize that.
He's
Well,
definitely
now-
A talented
now we
man.
he's probably right up there, if not the
Very
the
cool.
top, most popular one right now, isn't he?
Yeah, and yeah,
That's
he's been working.
fantastic
He's
work.
been working for a while. Did a lot of train games, I think, for a minute there.
Yeah.
The other thing that we can do as an executive action, I get to choose one of these things. One, again, the first one was to move visitors using the tickets I already have available. The second one is that bonus action that Paul alluded to earlier, right? So I have an available assistant. I have an open space. I'm able to, as my executive action, take the bonus on that card. I can do that once because this guy stays here for a moment. But when I do, I just take that. This would get me more money based on how many people I've got in my gallery. Okay.
Where do we track money?
Money is just.
We get actual
we
right,
start
coins
with,
right there
We
in front
start
of me.
with 10 monies each, and we'll quickly lose that. Money is also how we score. It's just straight up victory points. I've heard that the average scores are between 140 and 180. I'm not average. I'll say that. My first score was 55, and my second was 127. So
There we
by
go.
that increment,
There you
I
go.
should be in the 190s this game. That's
Right.
what I'm hoping for.
Let's shoot for it.
That's what I'm going for.
Because there's nothing else going on. That's all you have to worry about is how
Much I score?
Yeah, you're good.
That's all I want to do. All right. As part of a couple different things that you can do. Okay, so I'm sorry, the bonus action. So he stays there until, again, I have, let's say I'm back to here, I'm selling.
Mm-hmm.
I've sold this piece of art. This guy, because I'm flipping this over, now goes back to my office. Okay, that's how I get him back. I have to sell the art that he's on. So it behooves you to use the bonus of the contract before you sell the art. Because if I sell the art and haven't gotten the bonus, I've missed out on the bonus.
Who wants
I
to do
now
that?
have the option on a later date to use the bonus on the contract card.
Now, is he stuck there now permanently?
He is not, because I have the ability to take a new contract, removing this one and getting my assistant back.
So what happens to that when you?
This one just gets discarded. And it gets discarded in that if we ever run out and can't fill in, all the discards just get reshuffled.
Does it only discard when you take a new contract?
It only discards when I cover a filled contract with an unfulfilled contract.
Do you have to put your unfulfilled contracts in the blanks before you're able to cover it, or as soon as
No.
you? Okay,
Nope.
it's your choice.
There's no restriction there, except that I'm allowed to have 3 at any given time.
Okay.
There. This was here. If I am purchasing art, and let's say it costs 11, and I've got 10, well, I wouldn't be allowed to buy that, except for I have access to money based on my given influence. And don't worry about the numbers inside of these coins until endgame. Each one is worth 1 value. I can backtrack to the next coin on the track to gain 1 money. So I've got 10. I lost some influence to gain a coin. I can now purchase that piece of art for 11.
So wherever you are, you just slide down to the next one.
Correct.
So either at 9 or 11, you're going back to
Yep.
to 8 to get
Yep.
that coin.
Correct.
And is it only 1 coin?
1 coin per step you take.
So why do they have different
Endgame.
numbers on them? That isn't a game.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Endgame only. I could move back 3 or 4.
Okay. So you do have the potential.
You do.
You're just.
It's costly.
Crushing your influence.
Certainly
Like
costly.
reputation.
So what else happened? Is this reputation or influence? What is this?
It's called influence.
Okay, so what else do you use your influence for?
You may use it, because there are stars on it, to increase the fame of someone.
So you can backtrack to increase
So
fame.
while-
You can backtrack to
Correct.
increase money.
And I can do that when I'm either buying a piece of art or promoting them.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, but the influence track does gain you money at the end of the game.
At the end of the game, we'll do
So
that.
so you
Yes.
can use it during the game, but you are
Oh, yeah.
penalizing yourself potentially for points later.
Yeah, because you're going to receive this value worth depending on how far along you are on this track. So if
In
I'm
points?
here, money is points.
Money is points.
1 to 1.
That was the
Yep.
question. Yeah.
Yep. So I would get 9 if I was here, which Bob is. Bob gets 9 money at the end of the game for being there. Okay? It goes up to 20. You can do it.
And once you get up to 20, you're just stuck there.
That's it.
Whether you
Any
get
any further influence you would gain does nothing.
does nothing. You
Does
don't get like
nothing.
a
Yep.
bomb pack.
Yep.
Okay.
Ding, ding. The executive actions. We've done the bonus card. We've done the visitors with the tickets. Okay. Now, why have I left my assistant in a specific location? Because what we have next is a kick-out action. Jerry comes here. He wants to take this particular action, which is the
Get
media
outta
center.
here.
Yep. He will complete his entire action. He will do all that he wants to do with the media center. Then, as a kicked out action, I can either do an executive action, which we already talked about, which was using tickets to move visitors or using a bonus, or I can go down 1 whole point, 1 whole marker of the star to take the location action of my choice.
When you say that he does his full action, you're saying he does both his location action and his executive
Any
action.
executive, yep.
So you complete every
Yep.
part of your turn, and then the kicked out action takes
Yep.
place.
Yep.
So you have to finish your whole turn. And
You
then
finish
the
it.
kick
Yep.
out. And you activate the kick out by...
You
Just by
activated
kicking it out?
the kicked out. Right? I was here. My
Yep.
assistant was here. This works the same as if my pawn is being moved as well.
So you're going to kick out a pawn.
We're
or
going
an
to be kicking
assistant.
out people a lot.
This
There
is-
are 4 people here.
Wow, this is a
There
real-
are 4 locations.
Who knew it was so cutthroat? But here we are.
Right?
Well, this is one of those things where kicking out is actually nice.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Being kicked out is nice
Being
as
kicked
well.
out is
yeah,
nice.
because
Yeah,
you're taking-
you're going to
you're
get
getting
another
more stuff.
action.
Okay, cool.
Right?
Gotcha.
And one of those things you can do, aside from an executive action, which is one of those 2 things, A or B, or you can move back one whole star on the influence to take the action of that location.
I need a Snickers bar. I think is if.
Sure you want Snickers?
He's not.
Yeah,
he's
I
not
need-
himself.
Yeah,
You're not yourself?
I need a Snickers bar and a deep breath.
A good reset.
Yeah. That actually worked.
Yeah, man.
Sugar, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good thing.
I'm sorry.
No,
Go
man,
ahead.
we're happy to have you. We're happy you're here.
I'm actually better now. I've been trying to stay away from sugar this week, but this is good.
It's hard.
It is.
Get a serious
comes
dopamine
here.
kick for that one. Maybe.
Yep, thank you.
That sugar.
We have each been given end game cards. One of them, the white one, is related to the art in your gallery. So match that set and you gain 10 points, or match that bottom set and you gain 15
It's
points.
the set collection aspect.
It's the set
there.
collection aspect, right?
Oh,
Again, and to clarify something that we haven't necessarily talked about yet, celebrity status of an artist. I can only score this bottom one if I have a piece of art from a celebrity. Well, what is a celebrity? A celebrity is an artist that has gotten to the 19th portion of that track. The person that moves them up that high, and again, you move them by purchasing their art, or by promoting them, and also by moving along the influence track. You gain 5 money, huzzah. You now have the option to place a 4th piece of art in here, because the 4th piece you're getting isn't necessarily their piece.
Right.
Might be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. But I have the option to place here. I only contain that option for as long as I have one of their pieces of art. So if I don't have a piece of their art, as in I've sold it, I have to now go back to only being allowed to have 3. Okay? I get 4 pieces of art in my gallery if I have a masterpiece from a celebrity. Okay, and the only bonus I really get from that is I guess, is the 5 and having a 4th set, or a 4th thing for a set. They can still be promoted.
is this what that symbol is indicative?
That is what
of?
that symbol is. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
They
this
can
is
still.
this is the celebrity.
Correct.
Okay, so they're famous if they have that
Yep.
symbol.
They can still be promoted. You cannot purchase any art from a celebrity. They've retired. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Save
It's a good life.
for if I have a commissioned piece of art. If I have not used my commission and they have achieved celebrity status, I'm still buying my piece of art from them for 5, right? Because I always get the commissioned price. And then this would obviously go up to the very top, and it would be worth 20 when I sold it. Fantastic, right?
That seems like a. Maybe
I say
it's-
good luck to you is what I say for that.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine keeping a commission piece for that long.
Okay.
Because you can only have one commission at any time.
And when you actually when you actually use your commission, that goes back here, correct?
It does. Yep.
So somebody else could then commission.
Correct. No, because you only commission when you discover.
there
You
you
can
go.
purchase another piece of art, which also gets you a signature. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, so I'm sorry.
Commissions are going to go here. When you
Commissions
purchase
go here.
art, it goes here.
Correct.
Okay. And then these.
That's a
these
good delineation.
What are these?
Those are end game. So those are going to be our auction.
Okay.
We're gonna vie for those, and those again are different types of art, which may go towards our end game, right? So again, one of these was for in the gallery. The other one is for sets that you've sold off, and they should all be different. Hopefully, they're
These
all
are
different.
secret, correct?
Yes. Secret is I think I've waved mine around enough that if you looked hard enough, you might be able to see it.
What's the difference between the brown and the?
One
the
is
white
for the sold pieces of art. Flip that over.
Okay.
That symbol indicates sold.
Oh, gotcha.
This one indicates the gallery.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk
Excuse me.
about endgame.
So one thing that as I was
Sure.
watching some
Yes,
of the
please.
videos of this and stuff, be careful. So when we're using tickets, so say for example, you collect tickets and we're using tickets to move visitors from, either from other people's lobbies or from the plaza into our gallery. When you use those tickets actually leave the game. It may be tempting to want to put them back here, but they really they leave the game because, getting to your point,
And these are finite.
This is one of the end game triggers. This is one of
That
the timers
would
for the game.
definitely finite.
Yep. In so much that
Excuse me, sorry.
if all the pinks are gone, I still have access to gaining pink, but we remove one of the other tickets first, and then from the discarded ones, I gain the pink. So these are gone.
So we can. So there's semi.
You still have access to them.
So
yes.
only the pink.
But because it is an end game trigger point, that's
still-
why we remove them completely.
And it's always just what the next one. So it'll always be brown until brown's gone. and then
I
it'll
believe
be
you could just
white.
make your choice, but at that
Oh,
point there
okay.
might only be a couple left anyways. One of them doesn't completely deplete before the other two are completely
Gotcha.
full. I haven't seen that yet, but I guess it could happen. This also, when any one of them, they call it intermediate scoring. I don't know if I like scoring as the term because you're not scoring anything, but you do gain economy. So you would gain influence based on your track or based on your people, and then you would also, we all do. The turn after a person has taken the last ticket of any one color triggers this.
Triggers that thing on the bottom.
This is gaining influence based on your plaza, also gaining money on your gallery, not plaza. Okay? Did I say that in a way that makes sense?
I mean, we'll get. And if
Close
you
enough.
didn't, we'll get to it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Basically,
No worries.
basically, this is a quick income phase for everybody.
We're gonna.
It's
The
gonna
first
trigger
few
everyone.
turns, we're probably all gonna just
Yeah,
talk
thanks.
about it
I'm just
anyway,
gonna continue.
No, I appreciate that.
just to make sure we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
or I'm on any page whatsoever.
Jimmy Page,
Okay.
maybe. He's good.
Is he? Are we doing?
He is
this
regarded.
in
He is
game?
heavily regarded as. Oh yeah, go ahead. Okay. We could throw a couple more out there just as a reference. So this is kind of like area majority here on this last track. This is the first part of our scoring at the end of the game. Since one's already been mentioned, there are 2 points that might trigger, that have to happen before the end game triggers. One of them is completely being out of tickets. The other is completely running out of visitors to replace from the bag on top of new pieces of art. The other is 2 artists achieving celebrity status. When any 2 of those happen, that triggers the end of the game. Okay? We will continue that round until everyone has had equal turns. We then do one more round. However, on that very final round, there are no more kicked out actions. If you have a person there and they get kicked out, it just goes back. Doesn't matter because it's the final end. None of these guys here make any difference to you for your end game scoring. So it doesn't matter if they get discarded to the box or not. There are no more kicked out actions on the very final turn that we have for this game. Okay. We then score for the international market here, and it's based on each particular column, and it is for majority. The person with the majority in this first column would gain 6 money. Second, third, or 3.
okay.
Third place would get 1. We're going to do this. If there is a tie, which there is between orange and purple, you add the 2 totals and then divide it and round down.
Okay. So 8 each on this. In
Correct.
This case.
Yep. And then 3 for Bob because he was the third person there. And then this one's 15, 10, and 6. Okay. We then score our reputation, which are these. We then score the selling cost of the art in our gallery. So we determine where they are, where it would all be for star value. You just gain that money for them being in your gallery as if you had sold them, even though you haven't. We then take the silent auction, which is this one here, which comes down to these bottom 3 of our columns here, and it is total majority. So since I have 3 here, I would get first pick of those. Since between Paul and Jerry having 2 here, the tie.
Actually,
You've done very poorly in this particular section.
I have.
The tie goes to the
You
furthest
punted on this.
right and or the furthest down.
So right and down gets.
Yep. So in this configuration, you would get second place because you are furthest and down. Okay. Here, Bob would get it. And you just get to choose the 2 remaining, and then you would get to choose of the 3rd remaining. Okay. When that happens, you get the sale price for it, as if it was the highest value. So you may not have any of those artist signatures, right? But you would take this art as if it were the highest value for any artist, or for your artist of your choosing. Okay, so if it was happened to be a celebrity, I would take 20 coins for that. Huzzah. I can then add it to either one of my sets, right? I can add it to my gallery collection. Again, following the rules of the masterpiece, or I can add it to my sold collection for either one of these set collecting pieces.
So it affects your that.
Which is the next thing we're going to score. We'll score both of those 2 cards individually, and then we'll score our influence track. And that's how far along you are here is the amount of money you're going to get.
And whoever has the most money wins.
That's correct.
What's the type? Is there a tiebreaker?
I think there's a whole bunch of tiebreakers. One of them is having more assistance. So I think one of them is selling certain pieces of art.
We'll get
If
to that.
we can look it up now if you want to, but my games have always been so disparate. I think that's pretty much the Gallerist as far as a teach goes.
Yay.
We have to determine a starting player.
Do it. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake them.
Oops, what came down first?
Whatever
the
didn't come out, yeah.
Dang it, no!
I would say you'd be first anyway, so
That's fair.
so I could actually watch your turn. So we probably should grab our little.
Well, what's going to happen in reverse turn order, so starting with you have to place your pawn on a location.
Oh, so one thing I think you didn't mention.
Go ahead, please.
On your turn, you have to move
Oh, yes.
to another location.
Yep.
So
Do
choosing where
we
you're
start
going
with 2
now
in
may
our
actually
office?
determine what you want to do.
Yes. You cannot take the same location twice, except if I was here, Jerry came, knocked me out. I can take my knocked out turn if I want to, and then when it comes back to my turn, I've essentially taken that one like previously, but since my pawn isn't there, I can take that action again.
Okay.
That's the only time in which you can take the same action 2 times in a row. But to your point, I cannot just come back to the same spot. If you kick out your own guy, you do not get a kicked out action. That is no bueno, or at least not allowed. I don't know what that is in any of the languages. I'm sorry.
I think it's no allowdo.
I don't think that's accurate.
So
That's probably
I'm assuming
if
wherever
Juan
we
was
go,
watching,
we're going to
he'd
get
tell
this,
us.
whatever the piece is here, correct?
Say it again. I'm sorry, please.
So I choose where my pawn's going to go.
Yes.
And I'm assuming I go here, I get this piece.
You get that. That's correct. And where that goes is the 3rd spot in your gallery.
Okay.
And when you gain your 3rd piece of art consecutively, right? I have to have 1, 2, and then the time I place my 3rd one, I get that, and I get to put.
Because
put it
if we
down.
sell this one, we would have to put the next one here.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so,
you always fill from.
and so this just to give you
Sure.
this is basically you get
For however
money.
many. Yes. Go ahead.
you get a coin for every person that's in your gallery.
Yep.
Is that what that is?
That's right.
And this one here, you're going to gain an influence and 3 money for every piece of art
In your gallery.
in your gallery.
Mhm.
This is you gain 1 and 3 for every abstract art in your gallery.
Sold or in your gallery.
Sold or in your gallery.
Yep.
Okay.
Same for
And then
painting.
that's- Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
And then to continue that trend, this is just for our pink VIPs in your gallery, brown in your gallery. This particular token is always scored first when it comes to the reputation. So if you do gain this one, For every 3 influence you have on this track, you gain 1 money.
Oh wow! So you divide it by 3, round
divide it by
down,
3,
and
yep,
get
yep.
get the money.
And
oh
that's,
well,
and that's scored
this goes
first.
by 3, so it just
Correct.
no, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
more or less. It goes to 35 in total. So you could gain 11 at max.
okay.
Okay.
But that's scored first because every other one will raise your influences. So to kind of balance it out, not all the other ones are going to score you potentially 11 points. So you score that one first, and then we look at the other ones. This one is for every reputation tile I have, including this one, I gain 1 and 2. This is for every piece I've sold and is my gallery, I gain 2. This one says for every unique I've got, I gain 1 and 2. For every photo, 1 and 3. For every statue, 1 and 3. For every assistant I've unlocked, not necessarily on my board, but completely unlocked, they can be here. I gain 1 and 1. This is for every celebrity artist, 2 and 4. This is for every artist with a fame above 15, 1 and 2. And then this is for every person with more than 4 likability, gets 2.
Okay. And then these here, is this basically saying you get a collector directly into your gallery? Is that what that is?
That is saying you increase the fame of an artist
Gotcha.
for every collector in your gallery.
This is what?
You take a visitor from the plaza and place it into your gallery.
Okay. And when you discover or commission an artist, you have to do these first before
Nope.
you can do those? Then you can do these?
You may discover any artist you choose.
Okay.
Their starting values are all listed above as well, so those are just going to be on the opposite side. This symbol here is from the bag you take a visitor of your choice. Again, that's a bonus action,
And then go into your gallery.
and it goes into your gallery. A lot of those are actually explained here as well, on the opposite side.
And when you move, you can move to any of these spots. You don't have to go like adjacent, correct?
That's also correct, yep.
Okay.
Just you cannot go to the same one twice unless, I guess, you're kicked out in some way.
Well,
And then
I'm
this is
I'll
super
go here.
handy. So Bob gets the next selection at your leisure, sir. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Oh my gosh, now
Are we
I have
allowed-
that theme song stuck in my
It's a
head.
good one though. They don't make them like they used to.
What's that, theme song?
Theme songs.
Oh
You're
yeah.
choosing your location.
Mark Snow is a big one.
Choosing my location. So
Well, the Professor of Rock.
This
One
is
of
the
those-
first action you will not take in the game.
the first
essentially.
action we will not take.
Yep. So you're choosing either between this
You
and
have-
this
You'll have
as
to move on your turn. So.
you have to move on your turn.
And just to reiterate, the thumbs up is
Is promoting an artist.
these are
Gaining, you get to hire art assistants. Hire assistants is the word I want. Is the term. I wanna
this
use.
is commission.
commission.
and this is
Buy.
buy.
Mhm.
I was gonna say so.
Yep. Contract, sell, reputation, and then this is the auction.
Sure. And that. So what happens to this?
This will go into the third location of your. Yep.
So if I want
Yep.
to do that, I do that. If I want to do so, this will be the first one I don't do,
Yes.
and this doesn't have a. Oh yeah, it does.
Yep.
So I do that,
Mhm.
and then I just put this here,
That's correct. And so I, by default,
and that was just reverse of
reverse
start
turn order. Yep. Because I guess I get a benefit for being first in this game, which I don't disagree
So-
with, I guess.
So shout out to Professor of Rock. You did a couple of great countdowns of 80s TV theme songs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He did one, and he got completely roasted by a lot of people, saying that he missed out on some really important ones. But he did talk a lot about the, some of the key people that did theme songs, composers back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
fun.
that was one of them. Welcome back.
And then do we? Oh yeah, we all start with
we
one
start
of
with
our,
a dude
and mine's over there.
or a chick. I
Wait.
don't know.
Oh wait, that's right. So I'm purple. I'm over there. Paul's
Mhm.
blue. He's
Yep.
over here. We just kinda
Yeah. So
went set up
based on our
this way.
configuration, these two are flipped a little bit. So keep that in mind.
We're all
You are
right,
not
we're all
the
right.
closest.
We got it.
We probably should have been easier to get to our own galleries, but that's
Yeah.
okay, Jerry. I'll take care of you peeps. You take care of my peeps.
Appreciate it.
That's very people-oriented. Nice job. That means you get the alpaca. Huzzah!
And he stays with you the entire game.
The entire game.
Yep, your alpaca stays with
Yep.
you.
So you will always have the last turn of the game.
Okay.
I'll try to.
It's a valuable position to have. All right. No other questions, right? We're gonna dive
we're
in
good.
here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna ask questions as I go
I hope so.
because I've already forgotten
I might ask
everything,
questions. Okay.
which is fine. And just talk out your turn, like even what you're thinking. If you
Yeah.
can't figure it out, just talk it out. Helps people.
I mean, it's good to do all the things.
And you can you can go whichever
Let's see,
one of
because I
these
haven't
you
really
want,
looked at these
right?
yet.
And you're just gonna kick one of us out.
That's correct. There will be a kicked out action requested upon a person. You don't have to take the kicked out action. You may not have the resources to do so. That being said, if you don't have an associate or an assistant to place here, you cannot take this action. If you don't have the contract that matches the piece of art, you cannot sell art. If you don't have space in your gallery to receive a piece of art, you cannot take that action. So, some restrictions, I guess, keep in mind. For my first move, it's good to have tickets. I think it's good to have
Is it?
people as well.